See if this works. All right. It says we are live. Oh yeah. Let me see. Hopefully it changed it. Actually, you can use this same link each time. It's the same link for you. Hold on. Yes, yes, I know you're lazy. There you are. Actually, let me just send it to you in line chat here. I was going to send it to you in Discord. Tell me if that link works, because if it does, so where do you need me to send it to you? Amino89, first one in. Hey, how you doing? Followed by Lance Bombers. Bro, you see the 5-star gem deal. I'm not sure. Not sure which deal you're talking about. Hey, MCLC Gamer, what's going on? Diago, how you doing? We're just getting everything set up here. I got my sister online with me here. She's my co-anchor. But you still don't have my link. I sent it to you in line, but you said you needed it where? Okay. I was gonna say it should be the same. Uh-huh. And the stream health looks bad according to YouTube, but we'll see as soon as I start actually doing something here. But I am doing something new. What I discovered, I've been using OBS to stream, and of course, I'm new to streaming, and I noticed how other YouTubers had, the nice little pop-ups for, when someone follows them or, does a super chat or anything like that. So I went to look and see how I could set something up like that myself. And I got a very big surprise. Um, it's not OBS, but another product that is a derivative of OBS called Streamlabs OBS. And so that is what I'm using right now. And it has all of those bells and whistles. So anyone that does a super chat or, I think it has a couple of other alerts, we should now see them on the screen. But this is the first time I'm playing around with this, so we'll see. And it's supposed to be much better as far as resources go. It shouldn't be taking up a whole lot of resources, but we're just going to test it out. I don't like the stream health. It's in the red right now. And if it continues, and once I start playing, if it gets really bad, I'll just switch back over to regular OBS and then see if I can't figure out why the stream health is bad. But all we're going to be doing, guys, is going through Arena. And I waited until now to go do Arena because Perfect Series just started. It started at 1:30 Eastern. So I wasn't going to go through my 5 stars, which came off cooldown around 12:30, close to 1 o'clock. But when I saw the Perfect Series was going to start, 30 minutes later, I just said, let me just go live then. And that way we have Perfect Series. And let's see. Yeah. Hey, how y'all doing? Fitz and Vanch. All right. is a little bit of a delay, but you guys can see the perfect series. There's always a delay, but between what I see and what you guys see. But let me know, actually, Miss Stiletto, what does the screen look like to you? Does it look cut off at all? Okay, good. Because that's what it looks like to me too. I just want to make sure. Because the battle group, really? So you're not seeing perfect series? Refresh. Yeah, see, that might be a problem if it's laggy like that. I don't know, because that's the kind of thing that happens, and you'll get lagged in the stream. So just kind of keep watching that, and if it gets really bad, then I'll do that. Ho. You are in my headphones. I see. All right, give me a second, guys. 1 second. All right, say something.
Fitz Shillingford says perfect series has come at the perfect time. Perfect.
Okay, are you guys? Could you guys hear her? Hopefully, you heard her. If not, I think I'm gonna just restart the stream and
Fitz
okay,
said, yeah.
okay, good. Because I'm still not sure how the stream health doesn't look good, but everything else seems to be okay. It's just telling me that it's not good. Okay, so they all can hear you now. All right, good, good, good. Yeah, Fitz, that's exactly why I waited to stream now because I knew this perfect series was about to hit. I was actually going to go live at around 1 Eastern, but when I looked and I saw perfect series, I said, well, let me do that. All right, and we got hero use, of course, and mutant arena battle. Let me know if you guys can hear the game sounds as well.
I'm still on the perfect series page.
Yeah.
No, wait, now it's hero use and mutant arena battle.
Okay, good. That's about the delay that I expect. So let's see. All right, so we'll start and we'll see how the stream goes. And if it gets too laggy, I'll. I'm not actually sure why it's laggy like this. It could be. I mean, the settings are the same. I imported them. Ho ho! I just heard something,
Yes, I did too.
but I don't know what it was. Let's see. What is it? Ah, William Sewell subscribed. Yep, there we go. I hear it, but the notification does work. I was wondering if it was going to work. That was a good test there.
Fitz Shillingford says he's going for Corvus R2, so good deal on perfect series.
All right. Well,
And Amino says picture wise, he doesn't have any delay.
okay. All right. Well, I'm about to jump into the arena now. So let's see how it goes. And if it gets too bad, like I said, I will switch over. But can you guys, well, when I start fighting, let me know if you can hear the game sounds. hopefully this will work out pretty well. And you guys get to see a little bit of how I run the arena once I'm already on the infinite streak.
William wants to know what your thoughts on about the new offer for 5 Star Awakening.
I haven't seen it. Is it for units or for money? Hold on, let me change this. So that these will go into my headset.
Money. And Amino says the game sound is perfect.
All right. And the live stream just went to orange rather than red. If it's for money, that would explain why I don't know about it, because I don't spend money on this game currently. So I don't usually pay attention to those things because I can't get them. However, for pretty much any money deal, my advice is going to be the same. You have to evaluate your own income, how much money you make, look at the deal, and how quickly you can make that much money, and then whether it's worth it to you. For example, if the deal was for $50, well, for some people that's about 5 hours worth of work. If that's something that you're willing to do, perfect. When I was spending money, when I had a pretty decent job, I would spend $15 a month because I played MMOs, and I played them for years. And I would spend $15 a month, and every once in a blue moon, I would purchase some deal that they might have. So once I'm making money again, it's going to be the same thing. Some deals will be okay, but it really just depends. If it's an awakening, 5 star awakening gem, and I have this burning desire to awaken a champion, then chances are I'll probably buy it. But then I might not get anything else for many, many months. You just have to set up your own budget, and you'll be able to evaluate whether it's fits into your budget or not.
Von Chindoria wants to know which 5 Star champion will you max out next.
Don't know. Depends on who I get. I currently don't have any champion that I want to max out. I have quite a few that I want to take to rank 4, but I don't have the resources to take them to rank 4 and then max out a champion different from whoever I take to rank 4. So whoever I take to rank 4 next is likely going to be the one that I want to max out. If I get Void, he will be my next maxed out 5 star. If I get Blade, I will probably max him out. I'm actually not sure on that. The reason being, I already have Corvus and my Starkey maxed out. And so those are 2 damage dealers, and they deal damage in different ways, but they're still damage dealers. Void, on the other hand, is utility. And I kind of need someone with a little bit more utility. If I go with Blade, he does have utility, but at the end of the day, he's about that damage.
Tayab is shouting out High Shadow.
Hey, how you doing?
And Bobby Stapleton, what up?
Bobby Stapleton. How are you doing? Well, the lag doesn't seem to be too bad. What I'm seeing is you guys are about, well, not actually that far, maybe half a fight behind. Because you're actually seeing the fight I'm fighting right now. You're just at a earlier point. Glad to hear it, Bobby. Doing good, doing good. So am I. Okay. I think I know what I'm gonna do here. I'm just gonna turn off my sounds because it's a little off, so it throws my timing off just slightly. But you guys may notice that I like synergies when I'm going through choosing which champions. There's no reason other than I just like to see synergies. I don't even look at them. I don't even know most of the time what the synergies are. I just like them. They do raise the PI just a little bit, so that can sometimes help out. But other than that, okay, something weird. I just turned off my sound. Okay, time to pay attention. I turned off my sound, but I'm still hearing it. So give me a second. It's telling me my. Oh, that's why. Haha. Let's
It was your fault,
choose
wasn't it?
that. Nope, it was your fault.
Nope, your fault.
Don't know how you's done it, but I know you's done it.
It's never the baby sister's fault.
It is always the baby
It's,
sister's
it's
fault.
all of us. We're cute, we're wonderful, and it's never our fault.
I seem to remember
Nope.
being told that. In fact, I tried to convince our grandmother that you had taken something, and she argued with me and said there's no way you could have because you couldn't reach it. And I said, yes, she can. And she called you over and said, grab that. And you weren't wise in your ways yet. And sure enough, you reached up and proved me right. And then we finally found your stash of stolen goods behind the door.
Which was a great place to hide them, I still maintain.
Yeah, it was. For you guys that don't know, we had a door from the dining room to the kitchen, and we left it open all the time. We didn't really close it. So my baby sister would take things and hide them behind that door, which was always open. In fact, the only reason that we found them, I think something fell back there and we, closed it a little bit just so that we could get behind there. And lo and behold, we found her stash. Things that we thought we had lost long ago, we found there,
Whatever. Those were obviously gifts that you'd given me
unknowingly.
and that you guys just forgotten.
Right. At least you didn't say you borrowed them.
Hey, when you're like 3 or 4 years old, everything not nailed down is fair game.
And this is just my youngest sister. I have another sister, also younger, by, was it 11 months. So we grew up together. And let me tell you, my father was into gadgets just like I am. Electronics, all kinds of little gadgetry things. And so he would buy, I'm kind of dating myself, but he would buy Walkmans.
No one else is going to do it.
I don't know if you guys know what a Walkman is. Like Sony Walkman, play tapes, not CDs, not DVDs, not MP3s. Anyway, he would buy like the latest and greatest Walkman. And when he would upgrade and get something new, he would give me the old one. But he wouldn't just give it to me, because he wanted me to be responsible. So he would always tell me, well, okay, this is yours to use, but, you know, take care of it. And so I would take it. And what my sister, not this one here, but my other sister would do, because we shared a room at that time, she would take it, use it, break it, and then give it back to me. And so when I go to listen to it, it's not working right. And she would leave me to then have to explain to my father what happened to that Walkman.
You know, it's amazing how you make these things up. I just don't understand it.
Mm-hmm. That's okay. I got verification. Fitz Shillingford, I'm sorry, Shillingford says, I remember having a Walkman. Ah, that means that you and I are near neighbors in age. I won't ask you how old you are, but if you remember having Walkmans, we're close in age, because those who are old enough to be our children probably don't know what a Walkman is. Okay. But yeah, I had a Sony Walkman. I had a AWA. If you guys remember AWA, for those of you who remember Walkmans, AIWA. They made good ones. And some of those Walkmans were very well made. The AWAs were mostly metal, but they were expensive. But I remember dropping one. I was running, I had it clipped on, and I dropped it. I mean, it flew. And all that happened was it dented. But that was when I was buying my own Walkmans. And I kept
Man,
them
you'd
away
never
from,
let us touch your stuff.
no, both my sisters. They also like to come into my room and shop.
We don't shop.
Oh, yeah, both of them. My other sister is worse, though. She come into my room, oh, what's this? Are you using it? And if I say no, That'll be the last time I see it. So my answer has to always be yes. And I have to be quick about it too.
You act like your mama don't do the same thing. She won't even ask if you're using it. She'll just take it and then say, "I thought you weren't using it."
Nah, she don't usually do that. Not in a room. Ooh, took
Fitz
my eyes
Schillinger
off of it.
says he remembers that you could seek and skip tracks on a Walkman, and these were cassette tapes.
Yes. Yes, they were. In fact, some of the more fancy ones allowed you to skip ahead a certain number of seconds. And that was like a big deal. See, these days, folks have, there's no reason to seek, even though you can still do it. You just go right to the track that you want to play. But with these tapes, if you wanted to listen to the fifth song, you had to fast forward through all four of the previous songs to get to that fifth song. So it was real fancy to be able to skip, fast forward a set number of seconds, because if you knew how long roughly the Fitz Shillingford says, I'm sure you could repeat tracks as well. Yes, you could. But you had to have one of the not records. Records were actually old news. These were laser discs. She had never seen a laser disc, so they looked like records to her. And by saying records, she let everybody know that she wasn't as young as she pretended to be.
Whatever, 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 whatever.
I thought that was hilarious.
Whatever.
And laser discs didn't last very long either. Uh-oh.
That's why you're gonna get beat up.
Well, we shall see. Pedro Khan says, the good old days of Walkmans. Yes. Tell me what happened to the good old days. So glad that that did not kill me. Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some
You
days I
got
sit
that
and
right.
wish I was a kid again. Don't let her fool you guys. That whole baby sister thing, she's far from a baby. And she mean.
I'll cop to the mean. I'm
Yeah.
mean as a rattlesnake.
Well, that was interesting. The stream health went green, so everything was looking nice, but then it started buffering. If you guys see it buffering, refresh the stream or go down to the seek and make sure that the live is highlighted. Otherwise, you're watching a lagged. You're behind in the stream. I just had to do that. I'm watching it myself here, and I just had to do that. So if I had to do it, chances are somebody else has to do it as well. So who is going for Corvus? This is just the 4-star, I believe, right?
I believe the person who was going for Corvus was Fitz.
I really got to get better at playing Hela. She's not my favorite champion at all, but I have learned that little trick that you saw there to hold that heavy to get her furies up when I have a bar of power and fire it off, which I already know I'm going to miss. But then when they dodge in, intercept them with a special. And that
Yeah,
locks in
Shadow
the.
wanted to know which one of you guys was going for Corvus Fitz, and I said it was Fitz, I think.
Yeah, I was asking how many are going for Corvus.
Oh, well, the only one I heard mention that they were specifically going for Corvus was Fitz
Yep.
earlier.
You're just going for the 4-star, right, Fitz? Tell me what happened to the good old days. All right, gotta pay attention a little bit for
Got him
this.
R1 and now R2 to awaken him.
All right, I know what it's like to have them to want those silver stars. I knew I was gonna parry him by accident.
Pedro Khan said did 3.4 million first round for Corv and missed out at 1.5 mil now. I'll make sure to get it this round.
Yeah, Pedro. If you ever ask me, and to date, I have not missed a champion that I have gone for in arena. Mainly because I don't go for champions that I don't think I can put up a score that is well above the estimated cutoff. When I'm going for 4-star champions, for example, I always put up 5 to 6 million, and that is why I don't miss them. I don't know what his cutoff was, the estimated cutoff, but like I said, I don't aim for those. So whatever, however much, if people said that he's going to go for 3, I'm still going to put up 5 to 6 for the first round. Then for the second round, whatever he went for the last round, I'm going to put up about 1 to 2 million more than whatever he went for the first round. And that's if it's a champion that I want to actually awaken. But yeah, if you had asked me 3.4, I would have told you no, do over 4 million at least. And that's usually going to be my answer. If it's a really, really popular champion, then I'm going to start telling you 6 to be safe, if you can do it.
Fitz said, I said a target of 5 mil R1 went to 7.5 mil for BCs.
A man after my own heart.
And Amino said he stopped playing Arena after he missed Emma. Did 67 mil and missed. She was
Ouch.
his first ever miss and his last ever Arena.
Ouch. Yeah, that is heartbreaking. Um, I have not missed any 5-star that I have gone for. And that is because I have never gone for a 5-star.
Pedro says first 4-star he missed in months. It was a busy weekend, his son's B-Day.
Ah, I think it was a long time before I went for a 4-star featured. And I'm trying to remember. I think the first 4-star featured was Killmonger. I think that was the first 4-star featured I went for. And since then, I've gone for most of them, but it just depends. Some of them I didn't go for if they were like back to back, and I just, was tired and didn't feel like grinding. I would like grind for a champion both rounds, and then the next arena, even if it was a champion, I just didn't have it in me.
Greetings, Keith Winnett.
But like I did get a 4-star Emma. I got the 4-star Omega Red, and I think they were back to back. I'm not sure.
And
Oh,
Pedro
it's not
says,
Pedro. It's Pedro.
"See, I was right in the first place. Told you."
We have a friend, and that is how he pronounces his name. He's Pedro, and it's spelled the same, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So that's why. Sorry about that. Pedro.
Robert Gillespie just got a 5-star awakening, thinking it was generic.
Oh, yeah, see, they got me early on, and I haven't you know what? After this round, I'll go look and see what the offer looks like. I haven't looked at it yet, mainly because I know I'm not going to get it on this Nightcrawler.
Don't hurt him.
Ah, I hate fighting Nightcrawler.
Don't hurt him.
Hurt him?
Yeah, you're hurting him.
No, I just put him to sleep. He looked tired.
Mm-hmm.
All that jumping around and bamfing all over the place. He needed a nap.
Keith says the offer looks like somebody crapped on their own face.
Alrighty then. And with that image in mind,
And Johnston Fernandez says, "How many 5 stars will I need before I can start going for the 1,000 shards milestone?"
for 1,000 shards, hmm, that is going to depend on how
Without any units.
right how many. I don't spend units in arena either, refreshing and all that, which is why I don't go for 5-star featured because I would have to use units. What you want to do is look at the cutoff for the 1,000 units, whatever it was. I don't remember because I don't go for the 1,000 units, and then see how much you can get cycling through all of your 5 stars. And keep in mind that you can also use your maxed out 4 stars, which I also do, and your 440s. But 30 is decent. If you have 30, believe that you should be okay. Oh, I was about to go into that next round. Let's go ahead and look at this offer here.
Philemon, yes,
Oops,
he is free to play.
click the wrong thing. 5-star awakening, but $70. Okay, so first of all, even if I was making money, I wouldn't buy it. Um, that's a lot of signature stones. Yeah, see, this is how they get me. They got me when I was new to the game. That 5-star awakening gem is not a 5-star awakening gem. It's a 5-star awakening gem crystal, which means you don't know what is in there. It's random. You can get one that you can use right now or one that is useless to you. Uh, I kind of don't like seeing them, even though I understand why. Because those people who spend a lot of money on the game, what this does is it just puts them even further ahead of me. Like, how can I get a 5-star awakening gem right now? I've already completed all the story content, so where else can I get a 5-star awakening gem if I don't spend money? Now, the signature stones, they'll come in a little bit slower, but I am getting 5-star signature stones, even though these are generics. There's no place that I can get a generic right now. All right. And then you have 20 5-star signature stone crystals. Again, those are things that I can get in the game. Attack boost, same thing. Health boost, same thing. But that awakening gem, I can't get that. So the fact that I don't spend any money is putting me at a disadvantage. Fortunately, it's not that big of a deal. Life will go on, and I can still remain competitive, even though they're going to have, maxed out, 5-star champions. I'll get there, but it doesn't actually hurt me, my progression or anything in the game.
Keith says he has about 200 5-star Sig stones crystals. He has no use for at the moment, and 100 5-star generic stones.
Yeah, I currently have 100, 99, if you guys saw that, generics, and a whole bunch of signature stones for science and a couple of others. And for science and the generics, I'm waiting, hoping to pull a void, and I'll be able to sink about 180 sig stones into him when I get him. So that is what I'm kind of hoarding those for. All right, so you guys see right now, and you see that I did get that vision offer. Yes, I did. He is rank 3. So he's a rank 3. So I looked, and I don't really have anyone that has a synergy with him that I haven't used already. So what I do is, since he's a rank 3, I want to pair him up with my lowest ranked champions. Otherwise, I might mistakenly choose 3 rank 1 5 stars and get a death match. So this Ultron here, he's a rank 1. And Hulkbuster I use in a synergy team. Carnage I also use in a synergy team. Black Panther I do as well, but I'm going to choose him. 3 rank 3 and 2 rank 1s, never a death match. And slowly but surely I am ranking up my rank 1s. Oh yeah, that's right. Black Panther, I did rank him up recently to rank 2. But that is the goal.
Philemon wants to know, you've been playing the game for over 2 years?
Yes, I have. Don't ask me exactly how long, but my account is actually pretty old. I actually created this account, I believe it was in 2013. I think it was 2013. No, 2014. Somewhere around there. And there were no alliances, there was no masteries, there was no, any of that nice stuff. And I didn't know the game very well either. And I played for like maybe a month or so, and it didn't really catch me. So put it down, and I think about a year and a half or so later, I came back to it, and it was like a whole new game. In fact, I didn't even know anything about, because there's no like documentation that I could read or anything like that. So I went in and I was doing what I always did, which was to fight in the little PvP, arena. And I noticed champions were evading me, and they were champions that did not have an evade. They weren't Spider-Man. And I'm like, what in the world is going on? And I investigated, and that's how I discovered masteries. I went there and I saw the dexterity mastery and everything, and I was like, whoa. And I still hadn't joined an alliance. I didn't know anything really about them. And when I discovered masteries, I also discovered alliances. I didn't join one right away. I wanted to build myself up a little bit before I did so. I was following the same pattern that I usually do in MMOs. I don't usually join a guild right away. I usually try to do some research, and I'll make myself stronger so that I can attract, a really good guild. But of course, in this game, it's a little bit different. And I'm not somebody that likes to jump around to different alliances. Uh, I've only been in a handful of alliances for this entire time, but like the first alliance that I went into, most of the people there didn't speak English. So I didn't know what I was doing. We went into this alliance war thing. I didn't know anything, but I figured it all out as I went in there. Figured out the alliance quest. I figured out how the map worked and everything. It was basically like a trial by fire. Nobody was helping me or telling me anything. I didn't have Line Messenger. Eventually, I got WhatsApp because one of the alliances that I later joined, that was what they used. And eventually, that alliance, the leader, who I still stay in touch with even today, he wanted to progress a little bit more, and the alliance just was not going to help him progress. So he wanted to leave and join another alliance, build himself up, and then to come back. Well, I know from experience that even with the best of intentions, that usually is not the way it happens. And this was no different. And so eventually I left to join an alliance that would help me progress. The alliance that I was in, there were just a lot of people who didn't want to progress. They either didn't have the time or they weren't willing to put in the time. We're talking about not even being able to fully explore Alliance Quest or even complete it sometimes, just because people didn't log in. So it's been a while, and the game has come a very long way, and I love it. And one of these days, I will entice my sister to play something.
Mm. Pedro says, "Are you an Omni now?" Right?
Yeah, Omni 2, not the main one.
And Fitz says he wasn't in an alliance for almost 2 years and joined his first serious alliance in July of this year.
Awesome. They will help your progression. I know some people ask me, how can I get, you know, rank up materials faster? They're already doing arena, and what I tell them is alliance. Alliance makes a huge difference. Like I've progressed at a pretty quick pace, I would say. And right now, I'm hungry for T2 alphas and T5 basic fragments. So I sought an alliance that I felt would help me get that, and they have so far. I mean, I just joined them, but uh, just in the short time that I've been with them, I've gotten more T5 basics than I had in my old alliance in I don't know how long.
And Mozekiel wants to know, did you find the symbiote difficulty hard to do?
No. If you want, I actually live streamed my run through the symbiote difficulty, and it's on my channel. You can see it. I also created a guide afterwards that'll help you get through it. But basically, the key is that symbiote that you get, you want to rank him up, and you want to do as much of the event quest as you can. You want to collect those strands, which are the currency that you need to purchase the boosts that are only usable on that symbiote, with those boosts, you're not going to have any problem. It makes it very easy. If you're not going to use the symbiote with the boosts, then it's going to be very challenging for you. That difficulty is made for that symbiote. Without him, it is doable, but I wouldn't recommend it. Unless you just want the challenge. I hate fighting Miles Morales. Yeah. Alright, gotta pay attention here. Okay.
Doc 4 Strange 3 just stopping by and dropping a like.
Hey, Doc 4. Thank you for the like. Stay a while. Stay forever. I wonder how many of you are old enough to remember where I got that from. And it's a hint, it's a game. Stay a while. Stay forever. And then he laughed maniacally, which I'm not going to do.
Thank goodness.
Oh, I'll do it just personally for you, though.
Mm.
Ooh, no, we are not fighting Domino. I hate fighting
For
Domino.
someone who couldn't even take Sweet Tooth, you sure talk a lot.
That was just disgusting.
It was hilarious.
That's because you like dark humor.
Oh my
Uh huh. You'll forgive me, I was a little distracted by the bodies behind him that were
candy.
bleeding because someone had eaten the candy out of their corpses.
Well, to be fair, they weren't corpses when he was eating them.
Yeah, huh? How do you know that?
Well,
Right.
I fast forwarded through it because you were so squeamish, but they were still screaming when he was eating them.
Oh, yes, that sounds so funny.
It was.
I want you guys to hear this. Don't ever get on her bad side. Do you see the kinds of things that she finds amusing?
They ate all my candy.
Some folks might say it was psychotic, but not me, because I'm a good brother. I wouldn't call my sister psychotic.
Oh, it was hilarious. Pedro says, "Was that impossible mission?"
That, I believe it was. I'm trying to remember now that you said that, but I believe that was what it was.
Philemon, he's a Lord Shadow is not married. He's a bachelor.
Oh, does your wife play MCOC? Well, I'll let you know when I find her. But the lady speaking is my sister, in case you were thinking that was my wife. But no, I'm not married. Hence, why I have such free time to grind these arenas. And why I tell people when they say they wish they had the time to grind arenas like I do, I say don't wish for that because you may not like what happens. Okay, I want you guys to see this. Should be coming up in a minute. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Yes, Pedro, that's exactly right. That is exactly right. That's where I played it. I was going to give another hint and say I played it on the Commodore 64. Wow. I'm surprised someone actually got that reference.
I guess you're not the only old timer out there.
But yeah, you see how the game just crashed on me like that? That is what it does. Play for a little while, it just crashes. I'll come back. But so far, it has never crashed at a point where it messes me up as far as in the arena, like in the middle of a fight. It doesn't seem to crash then.
I'll give it time.
So far, it's crashed in between fights only. But yeah, Pedro, that was a good pickup there. See, I'm used to saying a lot of stuff that people don't get the references to, and they'll seem like they're off the wall. But people who do get the references know that I'm not just saying random stuff. Well, it's random, yeah, but it actually comes from something. And usually it's going to be a game because I played games from way back, as you may have suspected. Commodore 64. Good old floppy drive. I think, what was it, a 1534 floppy drive that I had? Man, it's been so long.
I remember playing games on the Commodore 64.
Yep. Pedro says, nope, he isn't the only old timer. Been gaming for over 30 years. Never had a system. Had to go to friends to play. Not like nowadays, or nowadays, you can play online. Exactly. All right. So yeah, so it does seem like we are about the same age then, or very close to it.
In that case, stay out of the sunlight before you turn to dust.
See, this is why bad things happen to you.
You ate all my candy.
I hope you guys are hearing this.
Ah, ah, ah.
What you're hearing is the mental breakdown of my sister. So when you hear later that we had to have her committed, it'll be an act of love.
Oh, come on. In your younger days, you would have found that hilarious.
It'll be an act of love and self preservation.
That was hilarious. I don't care what you say. The parents came home and that's what they found, and that's the only thing the kid could say. There's like dead bodies disemboweled behind him, and all he can say is, "They ate all my candy."
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. I did like one that had some dark humor in it.
Are you talking about Freeway?
Well, I like her, so that's not a good example.
Talking about Mars Attacks?
Reese Witherspoon, love that girl. Um, no, what is it? Dang, the name just went right out of my head. John Travolta and
Oh,
Samuel
Pulp Fiction?
Pulp Fiction. Yeah,
Oh, that was hilarious.
I have to
Oh,
admit, Quentin
oh.
Tarantino is a warped individual.
But see, so you found, but remember in Four Rooms when the guy came home and the guy had found the body in the bed and he was like, so did they behave? That's like the
Yeah.
same thing.
See, I remember that.
It's just like the same thing as that they ate all my
Yeah, and
candy.
I didn't really find that part funny, but what I did find funny was when they were in the car and he was talking and waving the gun around and the gun went off and blew the guy away.
Yeah.
See, I shouldn't have laughed, but for some reason, but that was then. I'm a much more mature person now.
Whatever. That's so funny. You'll have to forgive me. Some of my sick friends came over, and the other day we watched a whole bunch of typically scary Halloween stuff, movies, and we found a really great movie, and it had all these little things, and they were such great stories, and they were hilarious.
Hey, Hack the Game, what's going on, man? Pedro says, nope, not one of those blood sucking leeches, aka vampires. I'm a lichen. All right.
Yes, go for lichens, vampires, no. Yes, the Yolanda restaurant scene was, oh, that was great. That was great.
Yeah, I gotta admit, Pulp Fiction, when I watched it at the time, it was a very different movie. I mean, he told it, what was it, backwards? It was, I have to admit that that was very creative. I had not seen anyone do that before that movie.
But Tales from Halloween, if you're of age, people, and not easily scared, and you really like dark humor, Tales from Halloween on Netflix, great story. Halloween Tales. It's really like a whole bunch of funny stories. They're just hilarious.
Glad to hear it, Hack the Game. Thanks for stopping by as well. Uh, got this Corvus. Fighting Corvus in arena always reminds me of the first time we had to face Corvus in the event quest. Didn't know anything about him, didn't know about the guaranteed crits that he got. Just knew that he was wrecking me even if I blocked. It was just ridiculous.
Mozekiel says, "Do you buy unit offers? There's a 5-star Awakening gem on offer."
No, I don't spend on this game. Out of necessity, not like Brian Grant, who, made a rule for his enjoyment of the game. I just can't afford it. But one day I will be able to. But even then, I wouldn't buy that offer. I'm not into spending money on chances like that. I am not really much of a gambler. Okay, Starkey. Want to play like that? Okay. And that was the answer back from me. But I got something for you. It's okay. Got your licks in. I like fighting Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. But yeah, that 5-star Awakening gem, it is actually a 5-star Awakening gem crystal, and that's a very important distinction. They actually did have an offer a while back where you got to choose your own class of Awakening gem. I believe it was just before 12.0 patch where they made this offer knowing that the majority of people were going to choose Mystic so they could awaken Scarlet Witch, who at the time was the indisputable queen of this game. They made this offer, people bought it, got the Mystic Awakening gem, awakened her, and then 12.0 patch nerfed her into the ground. She's still an awesome champion, but she's not what people would have spent that money for. And they knew that that's the only reason people uh, spent that money. That was something I believe was very unscrupulous of Kabam to do. You know, I understand that companies have to make money, but how you make money, that to me was wrong. They should not have had that offer like that, knowing, because you don't just decide to make the changes that they made in 12.0. So those changes had to have been discussed and talked about long before that offer came about. So now $70 for an awakening gem crystal, and you don't know what you're going to get, whether you're going to get one that's useful or not. I mean, if you have the money to burn, for example, $70 for me is a lot, but that's because at my income level, I don't think like the big whales. For me to think like the big whales, I would have to see that $70 offer like I would see it as if it was a $5 offer. If it was a $5 offer, I would get it. That is the kind of thing that they think, but with $70, because they're making so much more money, that is ridiculous. $70 is like $5 or less to some of them. So they think nothing of that offer. So for them, it's well worth it.
Mazika wants to know, have you noticed any difference in the Carnage Venom buff on them?
I haven't played enough around with them. Um, I've seen videos, so I know that there's a difference. I've seen a little bit. Carnage seems to be a lot of fun to play. He does more damage. Venom, he is the bane of auto evaders now. He is not about to let anybody auto evade. So against any Spider-Man, any of the Spider-Verse champions, Venom shuts him down. He shuts down their auto evade. So Miles Morales, Spider-Man, Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, none of them. Hopefully that's what you were asking. Ooh, okay. Almost did something really bad. See that? Almost pushed him
I
to
am
his
by Sniper Boss.
L3. Hey, Sniper Boss. Thanks for stopping by. All right.
Hack the Game wants to know, can you evade from his SP2?
Who's SP2? Have to be a little more specific.
Use heavy attack. Says Hack the Game.
Oh, for Modot? Yeah, too late. Yeah, I do like to do that and incinerate them sometimes.
Oh, previous one. Hack the Game says.
Already forgot.
I know you have.
So who was it?
I'm
That's what
not
I
keeping
thought.
it.
That's
Hack the Game
exact.
says he loves his heavy attack because it's insane damage.
You have to remind me of who you're talking about. I go into somewhat of an auto mode when I'm doing arena. People ask, how can you do that for, hours a day? Well, that's how. I'm usually doing something else. I'm never just doing arena. I'm either watching TV or, like now, I started
Modoc.
streaming. Oh, Modoc, yeah. He is a lot of fun. I was actually happy when I got him. Still a decent defender as well. Doesn't even have to be awakened. So, how is the stream, guys? Is it laggy?
No, it hasn't been lagging, really. I mean, we're behind you a little bit, but
Yeah, that's normal.
not hideously so.
Okay. So it looks like the Streamlabs OBS is the way to go then. I believe that's what the streamers. That's the platform that's actually made to stream. You can stream from OBS like I was doing, but this is actually made to stream. So it takes up less resources. It's supposed to be faster and more efficient.
Fitz says you're good, Shadow.
Okay, good. And if I can get the money, I might actually buy this air server. It seems to work very well, smooth. It's lightweight, and I haven't had any problems with it. With the other ones, I would often have problems like they would stay running in the background, first of all, and sometimes the service that it depended on seemed to just reset. I don't know why, but it would still be running, but I would go to start my mirroring and it just wouldn't. It wouldn't even find it. And then I would have to locate it, restart it. But I realized that a lot of the problems I was having was the software itself because when I would shut the software down and restart it, it would often fix it. But this air server seems to be working beautifully. And the version of air server I'm using is one that's specially made for Windows 10. Windows 10 Desktop is the edition, I believe it's called. And it's working really nice. Now, when I make my live videos, like my crystal openings, I may go right back to OBS and use that to do the recordings. Because this seems to be more, it's geared towards streaming.
Hit him in the sunburn where it hurts.
And Red Hulk is actually pretty good. He's another one that I have that I just don't have the resources, or else I would rank him up to 4. But I don't have the resources to do it.
Hack the Game says, do you usually do live arena?
I've just started live streaming. I'm not even sure. What is this? My fourth live stream or something like that?
Yeah, I think this is our fourth one.
So I try around this time if I see that my guys are going to come off of a cooldown at around 1 or 1:30 Eastern Standard Time, then I'll try to live stream it. But I'm working on a project and see like while I'm doing this, it takes a little bit longer to get through the arena because I'm trying to watch the chat as well and respond and that sort of thing. So I go a little bit slower than I do when I'm off stream. And this is the last team here for the for my 5 stars. And it's about a, we've been live streaming for about an hour, 15 minutes, it says.
Yep.
So to give you an idea, I can usually go through my 5 stars when I'm not live streaming. It'll take me about 40 minutes. So it definitely takes longer when I'm live streaming. But after I do this, I'm going to go back to work programming this multiple upload module for a website I'm building. And I'll probably hit the arena again before I go to sleep. But since I'm only going for milestones, you guys see where I'm at right now. So before I go to bed, I'll probably end up hitting about 10 million, and that's just using my 5 stars. So since I want to get milestones in the basic arena as well, once I get done with my 5 stars here, I'm going to go through my 4 star, just my maxed out 4 stars in the basic arena. And I'll just keep alternating that way until I have all the milestones in the basic. And then I'll switch over to the 4 star featured arena and then just get as much as I can, because probably sometime tomorrow morning I'll be done with all the milestones for this arena and the basic arena. So I'll be able to use my 5 stars in the 4 star featured, and I'll probably get all the milestones there. If not, I'll get really close. Like last time I got to like 3.5 barely. All right, so you guys can see I got to 8.5 in the 5 star featured arena, and I'm at almost 600K in the basic arena. All right, so you can see there, it's where I'm at. So now it's time to switch arenas, and to do the 4 star basic, I still like to get synergies, and I do have teams that I usually go for each time. And if I were going hard for, some champion, I'd be using my 5 stars, my 440s, and sometimes my 330s, but usually I don't do that. I haven't needed to do that in a very long time.
Sniper Boss wants to know, are you streaming for a few more hours?
No, no, no. Won't be a few more hours. We already went through the 5 stars, and as soon as I get done with the maxed out 4 stars, I might pad and get started on the 4 star featured, but I'm gonna have to get back to programming. I think I'm done with everything else. AQ I got done with. I'll check. I got a chance to hit the boss. I think it was might have been the first or second time since I've been in this alliance that I got a chance to take on that boss. As you guys know, I love fighting Kingpin. This time I didn't actually go in with my Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. I actually used the symbiote. I've been using him in Alliance Quest since I got him, really. He is a beast in there. Normally, I do Alliance Quest with just 4 stars. My 550s. I have the 550 version of the Trinity here, and that's who I go in with. Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, Voodoo. I mean, not Voodoo. Sorry. Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, Ghost Rider, and Blade.
Sniper Boss says, "Have you leaned on any more trees and broke them?"
Not recently, but one of them is looking at me funny, so it's gonna be me and him. Yeah, I'll probably not be streaming by the time you are able to watch Sniper Boss. But if you want, you can watch it on a rerun. I actually very rarely get a chance to watch Brian Grant live. He streams at 1 o'clock a.m. my time. So I'm usually asleep. And if I wake up around that time, maybe, to go to the bathroom or something, I'm not going to watch him because I'll be trying to get back to sleep. So I watch him on a rerun almost all the time. And usually while I'm grinding. I haven't been doing it as much because like right now, I would normally be watching his live stream, but I did that this morning when I went through them earlier this morning. But I haven't gotten all the way through his stream. I'm actually at a little less than halfway through because he usually streams for a couple of hours. So, and I told you that I can usually go through mine in about 40 minutes or so. So that's about how much of his stream I've watched so far. Because once I get done with my guys, then I go do something else. Sniper Boss. R.I.P. all trees. Yeah, they shouldn't be just standing around like that.
Them trees minding their own business, and you coming round.
You should talk. I
What?
seem to remember that you don't like trees.
That's true.
Uh-huh.
However, my solution is to not be where the trees are, not to
Mm-hmm.
take down trees.
You mean you wouldn't find that funny?
No.
Really? So it's only humans. Got you.
Well, see,
Uh-huh. See? I'm telling y'all.
the point is, they're the ones who actually told him about it. Then they went and did the very thing.
And this is what I have to deal with.
Stop
The
making me
mental
laugh.
breakdown
Stop
of
making me
my
laugh.
sister.
It was too funny. Meister says hello.
Hey, Meister. Are you the Music Meister? The Music Meister plays the song that the world loves
Oh,
to
Lord have mercy.
hear. I love that episode.
I know you do.
All right, not you, but for everybody in the stream, where did I get that from? The Music Meister. And you heard a little bit until my sister groaned. You heard me singing a little bit from this. See if you guys can tell me where that's from. The music meister plays the song that the world loves to hear. Okay, let me turn you off real quick here. I'm trying to let them hear it so that they can see if they can tell me where it's from. But all they hear is a cat caterwauling.
Same difference.
Exactly. But anyway, if you guys think you know, let me know. And yes, you could Google it if you really want to. Pretty sure you'd be able to find it that way too. And what's funny is that in this series is not a musical, but that particular episode was a musical episode, and it was hilarious.
Well, every series started doing a musical episode after Buffy. Although there were ones that did it before Buffy, but Buffy was the one that supposedly made it the thing.
Hmm. And my sister's the one that actually told me who was doing the voice for the Music Meister. Do you remember?
Yes.
Well, tell them. Give them another clue.
Doogie.
Oh, they might not know Doogie Howser.
Everybody knows Doogie Howser.
But it's the guy who played Doogie Howser long ago.
Or if you're, say, I guess, legendary. Legend, wait for it, dairy. Challenge accepted.
I was going to say, that better not be a pun.
No, that's a quote from a character he played in a more recent sitcom he was in.
Oh, okay. Maisha says, you think it's a little bit crazy to up Ghost Rider to R5 over Stark, Corvus, or Blade, and it's your first 565. I wouldn't say a bit crazy until I find out what your reasons are. Because Ghost Rider is a beast, and if you really enjoy playing him, he's not a bad rank up. However, depending on what your focus is in the game, he may not be the best rank 5 option that you have. Yes, Pedro, you got it.
Yep. Pedro's on it today.
Yes, he is. We may even have a similar taste in shows we watch. Because, yes, I do still like watching cartoons. And that was Batman Beyond, I believe. Wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I watched so many different versions of Batman. Was it Batman Beyond? Or was it, I think it was Batman Beyond. And yeah, Pedro. NPH, Neil Patrick Harris. That's who was singing it. He was the music meister. And here's the funny thing. See, I remember him as Doogie Howser. That was the last time I saw him, really, because I don't watch any of the things that he has done since. My sister does. I didn't know he could sing. And so my sister was just like, oh, yeah, he can sing. He sang, this, that, and the other. I'm like, really? I didn't know he could sing. He was still Doogie Howser to me.
You have watched stuff he's been in, you just didn't know it was him.
Well, that's probably true.
The Penguins of Madagascar, he was Dr. Blowhole.
Well, no, no, no. I'm not talking about his voice because I wouldn't know that. I'm talking about I haven't seen him.
It
So,
was the Brave and the Bold, Batman the
yeah,
Brave and the
Brave in
Bold.
the Bold. That was it. That's why I kept going Batman Beyond because I think that was the one where Batman was he had gotten old, and it was a new Batman. He had actually retired, if I remember correctly, because he pulled a gun. Yeah, Batman was getting beat up and he was losing, and he actually had to resort to pulling a gun. And when he did that, he knew his time was done being the Batman, and he put up his cape and everything. And this was like a new next generation. I believe that was the Batman Beyond series. Yep, and as you can see there, like almost like clockworks, it clockworks. It's almost like clockwork.
Meister says he was his first 5 star. Now he wants 100% 5. He has almost done 5.4 and few paths in 5.2 and 5.3.
Okay. Are you planning on doing Labyrinth of Legends anytime soon? Because that will have a great impact on who I believe your first rank 5 should be. Keep in mind, you do not get those resources very often. I'm hoping with my new alliance to get them more frequently, but I have 2 rank 5s, and the only way I was able to do that is doing the monthly quest all the time, everything, Act 5 completely 100%, and Labyrinth of Legends 100%. I completed Act 5 100%. That allowed me to rank 5 one of my champions, and then I took that same rank 5 champion into Labyrinth of Legends and finished that 100%. Then rank 5 my second, and then I reached a sort of a ceiling because I wasn't getting them, and it was going to be a very long time before I got a third rank 5 with the current intake of T5 basic shards I was getting. Ah, that was my fault.
Isn't it always? Meister says not yet. He doesn't want to spend money on the game and doesn't have much time to play arena to grind units
Ah,
for because he has school now.
ah. That's, I was about to say I did not spend anything to get all that done, but I do spend a lot of time in the arena. In fact, if you look on my channel, that 800 uncollected arena crystal opening, it took me 8 months of grinding the arena a lot in order to get that. I get about 1 million battle chips a month, so you could kind of figure and calculate just how much arena I do. And keep in mind, arena is not the only source of battle chips, but I also have to use battle chips. At least I think it's 30,000 a week for donations, and I also sometimes have to use it when the T4 basic comes around. So you can factor that in, but that should give you a rough idea of how much arena that I do. Pedro says, didn't care for it, love Batman Beyond. You need to see him in Dr. Horrible's sing along
Sing along blog.
blog. Okay.
I've been trying to get you to see it, but you
Yeah,
won't
I was
watch it.
about to tell you, Pedro, my sister, she's the one that's into all of that, not me so much. And I didn't really get into Batman Beyond. I actually liked The Brave and the Bold better because it was a little bit more of a light-hearted Batman. He was a little bit more comical. It just, I don't know. It made me laugh, so it was a lot more fun. The other ones, I think they took themselves a little bit too seriously. So it was always like, a drama, and I don't like dramas. So if it's an action and it has a little drama in it, I'm good. But when they start making the action films more drama than action, that's when I'm going to change the channel and probably never go back to it. But Batman Brave and the Bold, I was upset when I ran out of them. I remember just watching, like, in the beginning, some of the things that Batman would do just had me cracking up. Like, he was tied up with Wonder Woman. No, not Wonder Woman. Steve Rogers. And of course, Batman being Batman, he's trying to find, get a way out, and he's telling Steve Rogers, yeah, I'm gonna, I should have this out in a little bit. And Steve Rogers is basically playing the damsel in distress, and he's like, oh no, don't worry, I'm gonna be rescued. And Batman is just looking at him like, what? And he's just like, yeah, Wonder Woman's gonna come and rescue me. And the looks Batman gave him, I was just like, wow. And Batman's like, okay. And sure enough, Batman freed himself. Wonder Woman came in there, scooped Steve Rogers up, and they took off. And Batman was just shaking his head. See, I like the little comedy release, and that was like a little um, prelude to the episode. It wasn't even what the episode was about. I just love that sort of thing. So yeah, I had a lot more fun.
Meister says he's playing all the milestones in basic and few in 4-star future, but he grinds a little bit more when he doesn't have school or a week or at weekends.
Yeah, that's fair. Pay attention to your schooling. I say that I actually did it when I was in college. And okay, this also, you guys already know I'm old. When I was in college, and this would be in the 90s, they came out
Oh.
with, they had text based MUDs. Don't know if you guys even know what that is, but it's a text based game. Um, it was the prelude to MMOs, it just was not graphical. All right, so you had to type out all your commands. When you went into a room, you read the description. Lots of typing, lots of reading. Okay, nothing. I mean, they had some text art, that sort of thing, but that was it. Anyway, when I found out about these, I saw just how addicting they could be, and I refused to play even a single one until after I graduated. I played other games, but those MUDs, I knew that if I started playing them, my schoolwork would suffer. So definitely get that schooling done. The games will be there when you're done. Pedro says, "Oh no, Batman isn't funny. I'm not into musicals, but Dr. Horrible is funny with what they are saying while singing."
Yes.
Well, yeah. See, Pedro, I'm not sure which Batman you're talking about, but Batman the Brave and the Bold was funny. The other Batmans that I ever watched were not funny. He's called the Dark Knight for a reason. That's why I like Batman Brave and the Bold, because it was a lighthearted one. The When they did have folks singing, I mean, Batman, I think he had to sing in this one. And let me tell you, just seeing Batman, hearing him bust out into song, The Dark Knight, this guy who's always brooding and everything, bust out into song, that cracked me up.
I am Pepe, having difficulty finishing off the symbiote supreme, which boost is best to finish him very quickly. Spent a lot of units as I was short in strands and had bad RNG. He would not use his SP3.
Oh, if you don't have strands, I would suggest that you go do other content. Get the strands so that you're not spending units. There's no reason to spend units. If you do heroic 100%, move on and do master 100%, then take your symbioid up, use him and complete epic at least once, then rank your symbioid up to 5. You're going to have a good number of strands. Do the occult labs, that gives you strands. The calendar, our daily calendar, also gives us strands. So, for example, let me show you. Um, when I get done with this, I'll show you how many strands I have currently, and I'm already done with everything. But yeah, be patient. There's no rush. Once you're done, it's done. But I also have a guide on my channel that will actually answer all of those questions. I go through every single boss and I tell you what boosts I think are the best for each of the bosses. But the two for Symbiote Supreme that I would say I would boost are Undying and Total Carnage. Total Carnage is a boost that's useful pretty much all the time, except when you're going up against a bleed immune champion. But for Symbiote, Strange, Undying, Total Carnage, you can get Cleanse if you would like. You could also get Deep Cut, but you only really need, especially if you're already short on strands, you can get by with just Undying and Total Carnage. And if you're having a bad RNG, then you want Cleanse. Because if he doesn't throw his special 3 right away, block, and Cleanse will drain his power so that he can't throw his special 3. So if you have Undying, Cleanse, Total Carnage, you're ready for whatever he does. If he throws his special 3 right away, you're good with Undying. If he doesn't throw it right away, you have time to block and drain his power so that he can't throw it. But I would definitely go back through the other content first and get some strands rather than use units.
Pedro Khan says Batman as a whole is not supposed to be funny. He is dark. That's why he didn't like Brave and the Bold. But his youngest son loves Brave and the Bold.
Ah, yeah, I can understand that. In fact, that is exactly why most of the people that I have ever heard that say they don't like it, that's exactly why they don't like it.
And Meister wants to know how long you've been playing MCOC, over 3 years.
No, it's close to it though. It's been 2. I know that. The problem that I have in trying to gauge how long I've been playing is because I started the game and then put it down for almost 2 years and then came back. But I'll tell you
Angon.
this. Well, I'll tell you this much. Six was it 2016? I think June 2016 is when I picked it back up. Let's see, June.
Angon Kadir sends a shout out. How are you, bro?
Hey, Aeon Kong, what's going on, man? Glad you stopped by. Now, you guys heard me talk about an alliance that I was in, where we left for more progression. Aeon Kong was in one of the alliances. In fact, I think we were in two alliances together. We were in one alliance that we moved to, but then, if I remember correctly, they had some rules that we didn't like. That actually, one of the things that I will not be laid back about is my progression. If you are doing anything that is interfering with my progression, that's when I'm going to have an issue. And I remember that they did not want us to open crystals once they reached a certain level in summoner advancement. And at the time, I didn't understand why. And so, what would happen is if I was not fast enough, when summoner advancement reset, everybody that could would, open crystals and rank up their champions. And by the time I looked at it, it was already at the threshold. And so now there's another week that I couldn't do anything. And I was like, no, this is not acceptable. So we actually left and formed another alliance. But as you guys may know, when you're starting an alliance, or you may not know, it's a lot of work. And the alliance leader at the time, Sham, he did not realize just how much work it was. We had some good folks, some very strong fighters, Aeon Kong being one of them. He a beast, but they just didn't have a lot of time. It seemed their activity was really low. We also had some scheduling. Aeon Kong is from Bangladesh, I believe. So was Sham, and we had people all over. They played at different times, and I had fun trying to schedule some of that. It was a lot of fun. Um, but that was in the past. Not, I'm not. I've actually been a officer in each of the alliances that I was in up until now, and I'm looking forward to the break. So if anybody from my alliance is listening, I do not want to be an officer. I'm perfectly fine griping and letting somebody else find the solution.
But isn't that one of the best signs of someone who needs to be an officer? They don't want to be an officer?
Nope. In fact, how I got, let me tell you guys, I don't know, Marine might, he might be lurking or he may watch it later, I'm not sure, but he can verify what happened in my last alliance, Preach and Play. I was in an alliance before that called X Unit, and I was the officer for my battle group. That's also where Aeon Kong, I believe we were um, in that same BG together as well. And I had such a miserable time trying to schedule everything and deal with people that didn't seem to want to play, didn't want to communicate, didn't want to just do anything I asked them to do. And I don't really have a whole lot of tolerance for that. So I have a really good solution when people don't want to listen. Uh, and I don't do a three strikes thing, it's usually two. So if I've asked somebody to do something and they don't do it and they mess up, they've got one more time. And once they do that, they're gone. And I'll send them a message saying, sorry, we just don't need you right now. We need people that can communicate, that will listen to the officers when they speak, you know, that sort of thing. And I was considered far more patient than some of the other officers. But when I finally left there, a few people decided to follow me to Preach and Play. which is where Marine had also left and gone. And so he got me to come over there, and they had a policy that, hey, Don Quixote, welcome to the stream. Um, they had a policy that if you came over with people, I think it was like something like two people, then you could be an officer. But Marine knew how I felt about being an officer, considering what I had just gone through at X Unit. I mean, he actually rage left the chat a few times just so he would not kick people. That's how bad it was. And so when I came to this one, I was looking forward to a break, to Preach and Pray rather, not to Omni. And he asked me, and he said, "I'm asking you this because the leader Wally uh, is asking me," and that's Uncle Wally. If you guys see right there, uh, one of the guys who did the super chat, first one I believe, to ever give me a super chat. That was the leader of my previous alliance that I'm talking about. He had asked Marine to ask me whether I wanted to be an officer, and Marine had told him he had a good idea of how I would respond. And so when he asked me, I just laughed because he knew better. And so he was just like, "Yeah, I kind of thought that would be your response." So I didn't hear anything else about it. So I'm in arena. I'm doing my arena. I got done with the arena, and then I decided to duel someone. So I hit the duel, and I noticed that there was a link invite to the alliance. And I'm looking at it at first because, of course, I'm used to seeing it because I saw it all the time in the previous alliance. And then it dawned on me. I said, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to be seeing that anymore. And then I looked, sure enough, he had, I mean, just probably 30 minutes before that, he had made me an officer, snuck me.
Sucker.
And he knew that I was the responsible type person, so I was gonna help out, regardless. And he made a good argument. It wasn't just about that. It was also about the fact that sort of a status. Like when you come over with people, it's sort of like the alliance is letting them know that they value you. So I was just like, oh, all right, all right. It was about appearances, which I'm never really about. But I was like, okay, I'll do it, and that's how that happened.
Angon Kadir says, now I'm with some old friends like Pope. Easy game, easy life.
Awesome. That's what this is about. If you're not having fun, it doesn't matter how high your prestige is or what alliance you're in. If you're not having fun, something needs to change. This game is to be played for fun.
Meister says, playing almost 11 months. His rating is around 320K, and he has at the moment 4R4 5 stars and 1 6 star.
Your account looks way better than mine did at 11 months. And I progressed very quickly. And the reason is they've changed so many different things. So, progression now, you can get your first 5 stars so much faster now. It's not even funny. But that's still a decent account. All right. Well, we're coming to the end. As you guys can see, I already finished the other two. Man, I didn't realize it's almost 2 hours. So I had only planned. See, this is what I'm talking about. I had only planned to spend an hour, but I'll get to like 5 win streak in this one, and then stop. Mainly because once I'm ready to go past that, I'll start with my 5 stars. So once I have all of the milestones in the 5 star arena, I'll wait till my 5 stars come off cooldown, and then I'll use them to get on the infinite streak, just like how I did in the 5 star feature. I really hate fighting Agent Venom.
And Khan Kadir says his progress stopped because he stopped doing arena.
Yeah, if you don't do arena, that's gonna hurt. And my progress, it didn't stop, but it did slow down. Um, I actually asked Brian Grant, since we both currently don't spend in the game, and I know I play arena probably more than he does right now. So I asked him because I figured it was a really good comparison. And I said, I noticed, we both had our first 6 star around the same time. But I'm on, I think, my fifth 6 star, and he's working, I think, on his ninth. And I'm like, how in the world did you pull away from me like that? How are you getting that many resources to progress so quickly? And he said his alliance. He's like, the alliance is the differing factor because if it was just about, I don't spend, and we both are spending about as much time, I probably spend more time than he does. So I really wanted to know how he was able to progress so much faster. And it was alliance. My old alliance was just not competitive, and there wasn't a large desire for them from the members to be competitive either. So we weren't going to go up in tier in Alliance War to get, the really good prizes to help me progress faster. And when I realized that, that's when I said, you know what, I've got to make a change, or I will just continue falling behind. And see, my greatest joy in playing games like this is progression. Even when I played MMOs, it was progression. I would level up every champion, every class. When I played World of Warcraft, every race class combination that I could, because I just like seeing characters grow. So I like to take them as high up as they can go, and then play around with them a bit and just watch their power.
Meister says, do you think he should open F 5 stars over basic? He wants champs like Omega, Emma, SL, Ghost, Duke, Blade, and more.
I have not opened a single 5 star featured, and I recommend, especially given that you've only been playing for 11 months, I would recommend basics. It is a gamble, and your roster is currently not that extensive when it comes to your 5 stars. So, what you want is to expand your roster so that you can grind arena, get more champions, be able to duplicate a lot more champions, get more resources, and keep on expanding your roster until one day you're going to be able to grind for 5 star featured champions that you want. And you'll be guaranteed as long as you can put up sufficient score rather than a gamble. So I'm not a fan of gambling on 5 star featured. The only one that I will open up, and that's upcoming in another stream, is the one that we got for completing the symbiote difficulty 100%. We got a 5 star featured crystal. So I'll be opening that featured crystal. Other than that, no. Oh, and before we leave the stream here, let me show you guys. You see how many strands that I have currently, and I'm done with everything. So you shouldn't run out of strands as long as you are completing the content. And all right, there we go. So you guys can see right there how many strands I have. Just a little over 500. All right, but that's gonna do it, guys. I have done all my champions. They're all gone through the arena, and I need to get to work on this site so that I can eventually get paid. Let's see, a few more comments. Meister says I opened it too, and I duped my Ghost Rider for the fourth time. Hey, Ghost Rider is a good champion, but for your first 5 star, um, I think was it you or someone else asked me um, who they should max. Yeah, it was you, Meister. Um, my first maxed out 5 star was my Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. He is my favorite champion, and I used him to do Labyrinth of Legends. So he is a Labyrinth option. Ghost Rider is not a Labyrinth option, but I'm sure you could do it with him, but you wouldn't want to. Spider-Man Stark Enhanced, he is a Labyrinth option. Um, Corvus is not a Labyrinth option, but he was my second maxed out 5 star because he is a beast in Alliance War. And my focus was on Labyrinth of Legends. Once I got done with that, it shifted over to Alliance War because that's where I'm going to be getting the bulk of the resources I need to get more rank 5s. So it made sense for me to max him out, make my profile look better so that some of these, higher tier alliances might, you know, want me in there. Like I said, it was the same pattern that I did in pretty much every game. Build myself up, make myself attractive to the upper, alliances or guilds in World of Warcraft, we call them. And, it depends on how the game is structured, of course, if that's how you can get the biggest rewards. But Corvus is a good rank 5 for Alliance War if that's your focus. If you want to do Labyrinth of Legends, then your Spider-Man Stark Enhance is going to be your best option for rank 5. Um, as you can see, I rank 5 both of mine. Let me go to my profile so you guys can just take a look at my profile there whenever the stream catches up. Blade and Domino also are options. Aeon Kong, yeah. Aeon Kong said, I have 3 LOL options: Stark, Blade, and Domino. Yep. But as you can see here, I maxed out my Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. He's actually SIG level 200, and he is my current profile champion. But Corvus, once I get his signature level up there, he's going to overtake Spider-Man Stark Enhanced because his prestige is higher. I used a generic on him, even though he does not need to be awakened, again, for prestige and to make myself look more attractive to the upper tier alliances because I know prestige is an important factor. So it was an investment to awaken him. And it actually turned out very nice because if you look at my previous video of mine, um, I went into Symbiote Strange and almost got one shot because of his blessing. And I talk about that. But the only reason that my Corvus survived was because he was awakened. When he's awakened, as long as he has charges, he cannot die. He's immune. He'll lose charges instead of dying until he loses all charges and he'll die. It's the only reason that I didn't end up spending units, because I had already gone through my entire roster and he was my last champion, and Symbiote Strange was almost dead. He only had like a few percent of health left. So I walk in there and boom, I'm down to 1% health instantly. I didn't even know why, but I was able to get Symbiote Strange down. Otherwise, I would have had to use a revive or something. So it was worth it, at least to me. Ghost Rider, I would say not to rank him up to 5 just yet. I don't really consider Ghost Rider rank 5 worthy to me. But if you enjoy playing him, great. The reason I say not rank 5 worthy is because he is just fine at rank 4. I have him currently at rank 3. I don't have him awakened, but one of these days I will awaken him, and if I get the resources, I will take him up to rank 4. I have quite a few champions that I want to take to rank 4. But, all right, guys, thanks for stopping by. Thank you guys for watching, and I might do another stream tomorrow at around the same time. We'll see. Just kind of watch for it. I don't have any set schedule for them. I may do a stream earlier or later. It just depends on when my champions come off of a cooldown. All right. So thanks, and you guys have a blessed day.
Bye bye.